Hi friends, Zoe here. Welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to come at you with another video today. This one on the topic of past life regression. So I have shared on this topic before, and I have shared my personal experiences going through past life regression with Vivian Osal. So I'll be leaving that playlist down below. You guys can check it out if you do find this interesting. And today I'm going to be sharing a story time of my most recent past life regression experience. So I actually did this last night from the comfort of my own home here in Bali with Vivian over Zoom, and it was just as powerful as an in-person experience. So let's get started. Alright, so I find the topic of past lives and past life regression so incredibly interesting. And I think it's because on my spiritual journey and just in the journey of life in general, I've always come across people and places that have an intense familiarity to me. And I hope it's okay that it's a little bit breezy out here. I just wanted to film and send the Bali vibes your way. The swaying palm trees and whatnot. But even, like I said, Bali, this place that is now my home has intuitively felt like I've been here before. I've had so much deja vu since being here, and so I can't help but think I already have. And I find the idea or concept of past lives so fascinating and such a powerful way to accept different parts of your life, just accept different traits of yourself, or understand why you might be specifically drawn to certain people or places because you have been there before. You are an immortal spiritual being having a temporary human experience. So it would be natural that the soul remembers parts of the journey. So this most recent experience that I had was my first time actually doing a past life regression via Zoom, but I have worked with Vivian before and really trust her, and like I said, it was just as powerful as in person. And I truly feel like working with different healers and working with different modalities, because I'm in a place of trust, I can actually work with people across the world, let's say, and receive profound experiences, whether that is past life regression with Vivian, or I've also done like a medium reading and a psychic reading like over Skype. And I find that if you have an inkling or a nudge to work with a certain practitioner or a healer, like time, space, distance, none of that really matters. So yeah, I had my past life regression with Vivian. I set up a nice space in my room. I actually lied down on a yoga mat versus being on my bed because I didn't want to risk falling asleep. So this was 10:30 p.m. my time. And I lit candles. I had such a beautiful space. I'd set my intention. And Vivian had asked me, what are your intentions for doing a past life regression this time? And I felt called to do past life regression. I recently read the book Only Love is Real by Brian L. Weiss, who is very well known and is an author of, let's say, for example, Many Lives, Many Masters, which is a very powerful and popular book, which I have shared on this channel, full of a lot of beautiful wisdom and insights around past lives and the healing that past life regression can offer you. So I had recently finished that book, and I was like, oh, I have a nudge to do a past life regression again. I don't exactly know what it is that I'm looking for, but I feel a call to do it. So in telling Vivian, I said, you know, I just would really like to go wherever my soul would like me to go, whatever my soul feels like would be most beneficial, or what I might need right now in this life as Zoe. But of course, always love was on the list of, you know, show me love or connect me with love to inspire me that I'm getting closer on this journey. And I also said recently in my life I've had this very profound, deep, and beautiful connection with Kambo medicine, and I'm curious as to where that might come from, because in my life right now I'm about to step into a Kambo practitioner training, which has naturally brought up some fears or resistance from the ego, but there's something beyond this. The first time I did Kambo, I deeply connected with the medicine, so I was curious and am curious where that comes from. And my third intention was to go to a place and time in which I felt that I was very much in my personal power, where I felt confident, I knew who I was, and I was proud of myself, and I was walking my path with strength and dignity and authenticity. And yeah, so Vivian crafted the words that would allow me to go into the hypnotic state where I could access the past life regressions. And she worded it in the way that it would be going to what my soul felt like would be the highest good for me in my life right now, based on what I am personally navigating on different levels and different aspects of my life. So Vivian regressed me, and when you are getting regressed, it feels like a very deep relaxation. So deep that you like let go of layers of your ego as you fall down and down and down into this heavy, like the body just feels very heavy and like relaxed, almost like it's sinking into the floor. This is experience for me anyways. Feels like I'm sinking into the floor, and I just let go of layers and layers and layers of my ego and go into a different place in time and space. And it's very relaxing. And where I landed when I first went into the past life was in the Amazon jungle. I was very aware of where I was. This was a long time ago. I don't exactly know what year, but 16. I don't know if it was 16 something or something 16. Something about the year in 16 came to me when Vivian asked me, but I actually had no idea. I was a member of a tribe, and I was actually the chief of a tribe, and I was quite young. I was looking down at my skin, and my skin and my hair was quite dark, and I was wearing some beads, and I was just wearing something small covering my genitals. I was a man, and I was out in the jungle hunting when I first dropped into this life. And I was hunting out in the jungle. I had like a spear, and I was looking for a boar, like a pig type animal, I remember. And I was aware that I was hunting with other people, but in that moment I was alone. We were kind of separated, and we were out hunting for the tribe. And I tuned into my emotions at that time, and I felt like I had a lot of responsibility in my life, and that was like weighing on me in certain places. It was this theme of like, with great power comes great responsibility, and I had learned how to be chief of the tribe, if you will, leader of the tribe. I'm not sure what the actual term that I was like labeled as, but I was the leader. I was trained by my grandfather. It appeared that I actually lost my parents quite young. Specifically my father. There was no father figure. The father figure in my life was actually my grandfather. And what's interesting is that Vivian asked me if I knew my grandfather, who he was, and my grandfather was actually my bestafar in this life. So I had this very familiar grandfather energy that I trusted to teach me everything that I know to get to the place of which I was at, which was to be chief of the tribe. So I felt into that space, and yeah, I felt like I was taking on a lot of responsibility in different ways, but I really loved my tribe. I had this beautiful community, and it was a very loving space. Except I was then shown, because you're often shown like the most significant points of your life, and Vivian might guide you there, but my soul was just kind of driving this journey. And it was showing me a woman who had a very deceptive energy about her. Very deceptive. I did not trust her, but I was taking medicine from her. So she was advising me to take this substance, influencing me to continue to take this substance that was to aid me in my ability to hunt. I'm not sure what this medicine was or what this plant was, but it somewhat looked like sananga, but it was something that I was ingesting orally. And what was happening is that since I started to take this medicine, my hands started to shake. Started to have like tremors in my hands, and I actually wasn't able to hunt. And I knew in my intuition, in my soul, in my gut, if you will, that this woman who was a part of the tribe was actually trying to poison me. And although that I did not have any proof, because what was happening was just between me and that woman, I knew in my intuition not to take the substance anymore because it was actually causing the hand tremors. So I actually approached this woman, and Vivian asked if I knew who this woman was in this life as Zoey. And what's interesting is it's actually a previous friend that I've had, an ex-friend, if you will. I'm not sure what the term is when you kind of break up with friends, but a friend that has actually left my life in the last year, who I actually had a very strong intuitive feeling did not have my best interests at heart. And even though I did not have any proof, and this person, you know, sometimes said the odd comment that didn't sit right with me, strongly in my intuition I felt like this wasn't someone who had my best interests at heart and who didn't love me and support me unconditionally. When I was asked by Vivian to look and see if I recognized who this woman was, I knew exactly who it was. It was this ex-friend. And when you recognize someone in past lives, it's not like you look at them and they have the same face or they have the same appearance or the same height or anything like that. It feels like a soul print or something, like a soul fingerprint, if you will. It's like you look at them, you connect with your energy, and instantly you have a resonance of who they are. And so I knew exactly who she was, and I'm like, this is interesting, like, let's see what this is showing me. So I confronted her about her poisoning me. She admitted to it, and she was very apologetic because I was the leader of this tribe. I actually had the capability and the power and the strength to actually banish her from the tribe or even end her life. But that wasn't something that I wanted to do. I was a very loving person, and I did not want death, wish death upon anyone, especially a tribe member, even if they were deceptive, even if they crossed all the rules and all the boundaries and was trying to literally kill me. I couldn't kill another. And so I didn't banish her from the tribe or anything like that. I didn't accept her apology. I gave her like a very small role in the community, and there were certain ways in which she tried to suck up to me or to like get back to her previous position in the tribe of being able to administer medicine, but I never let her touch medicine again or distribute medicine in any way. I just simply honored what my intuition was telling me, and it was that she cannot be trusted. It was showing me that she was doing this because she wanted her brother to have more power in the tribe, but her brother wasn't even aware that she was doing this. There was just some weird emotions going on and some resentment towards me, but yeah, it actually showed me that 2 years after I took away her privileges, her power to work with medicine in the tribe, she actually ended up dying. And it showed me that she ended up dying because she was suffering from an internal sickness. An internal sickness like a cancer, based on how she was so toxic herself. And that toxicity naturally caused her death, caused her disease, because she was harboring things like resentment. And if you guys are familiar with some of the things that I talk about, or just familiar with body work in general, your body stores emotions and things that you have not processed, trauma of the past. So what I was really being shown was that she had this toxicity that was inside of her that, you know, eventually caused her death, because she wasn't willing to transform. She wasn't willing to, although she was willing to admit to her deceptive behavior and betrayal, she actually wasn't willing to transform it. So that was a very interesting aspect to it. And it was very interesting because I am a very kind person, and I do trust my intuition, and I do feel like I give everyone the benefit of the doubt or give everyone a chance. But with this friend particularly, like I said, there was no like real solid evidence that I had other than the vibes that this person didn't have my best interest at heart and would say the odd thing that was kind of gaslighting me or unsupportive in different ways, or shaming me for certain things, questioning me, judging me. And so this experience, being able to witness it in the past life regression, it just gave me all the more permission to trust myself, to trust my intuition, that your vibes don't lie. And, you know, me trusting my intuition in this past life saved my life, right? There's a key lesson in there. Somebody was trying to influence me on a substance, and I said no. And I listened to my body, I listened to my intuition, and it saved my life, right? So just another powerful reminder to tune into that internal compass, and don't do anything that you don't feel like doing, or you don't have to be with someone or be friends with someone in your life just because they're there, or let's say they're part of the tribe, they're friends with your friends, they're part of your family. Tune into that internal compass. Such a powerful, powerful lesson. And yeah, so moving on from that, I was actually shown that I had a son. And I know who my son is in this life. It's very interesting. He's actually been a guest on the Modern Psychedelics podcast. I'm not gonna say his name or anything. I haven't even told him that he showed up in this reading. But he's somebody who's been just a very powerful figure in my life since he entered it, and somebody that I have a very deep respect for, and had that right off the bat, had that inner resonance or connection with him. And so that was really cool because I was just able to see again how we are all connected in more ways than we know. And it showed me that when my son was, or actually after my son was born, I actually started to work with the Kambo frog. And this was very, very powerful because I was shown that I have the ability and capability to work with frog spirit, Kambo medicine spirit, and that this is beyond this lifetime. That is why I felt such a powerful connection to the Kambo frog when I first, look at wind confirmation, when I first had my first Kambo ceremony. I connected so deeply and so profoundly with the frog that I'm like, this is beyond just this life. I truly felt that. And so it was one of my intentions, and I saw it as to where this origin came from in working with the frog. And I was shown that it was and is working with the frog spirit, and there's no harm that is done to the frog. It's spreading the frog's beautiful message of healing and love to the tribe members. And I was shown the ceremony of which you extract the secretions from the frog, and how much reverence was held for the frog, how much blessing was held for the frog, how safe and sacred the space was held for the frog, like literally worshiping the frog, which was very, very important to me. It was like something clicked inside of me, and it was like, you know how to do this. You've always known how to do this, and it's not just about practical skills. It's literally in your intuition, in your soul's memory. And so this was just so profound and so beautiful for me. It showed me that I was continually working with the Kambo frog. I was able to help another tribe heal that had some type of sickness. We traded Kambo medicine for some weapons and things, and it actually healed their tribe. So we were expanding this community and this tribe, and spreading healing messages in the Amazon jungle. And when my son was 14, he got very, very sick, and Kambo actually saved his life. Kambo medicine healed him. And so that's when I had this deeper resonance with the medicine, and it was like I owed my life to Kambo, because my son and I have had this very special, unique bond. This very, very powerful bond. He was literally like the light of my life, and I was training him to become chief, and Kambo saved his life. And in that moment, it's almost like I surrendered to the medicine, and I said, you know, I will be of service in this way. And so powerful. Like, it just resonated, clicked in me, and any of the fears that I might have had about Kambo and moving into the space of being a practitioner aren't here right now. Like, I literally feel a monumental shift that kind of went on inside of me, or at least a dissolving of the ego that was fearful or hesitant about walking a path like this. The power of past life regression, it's not just like healing, it's deeply insightful, and it changes things for you immediately. And it is one of these things that the gifts just keep on giving, because previously when I've done past life regressions, I recommend like at least waiting like a couple months in between, because for me personally, like it's still integrating weeks after the fact. So I'm excited to see what more integrates, or what more comes from this, because it was so profound. And yeah, so my son healed through this illness. I'm not sure what it was. And I was actually shown my wife. My wife in this life was actually my younger brother. And this was another key lesson that I was meant to learn. So it was showing me my wife, and she was very quiet, very shy, kept to herself. like these same type of qualities that my younger brother can have. Like, he's outgoing and stuff when you get to know him, but like when you just meet him, I feel like he's kind of shy and keeps to himself a little bit. And my wife, she was very good at weaving things. That's what she did with the tribe. She was like an artist, and she made baskets and like clothes. She made all sorts of different things for the tribe, and she was very much respected. And I respected her so, so much. And it was showing me that we actually didn't talk very much. She was my wife, but we didn't talk. But we had this inner knowing, this soul remembrance, this soul recognition, this soul contract that we knew that we were supposed to be together, and we deeply loved and respected each other even though we didn't talk very much. And right now in my life personally, I find myself often questioning, like, why don't I talk to my younger brother more? Like, why don't we have a better relationship, right? And I know that's like personal to share, but like it's something that I like question, because you hear about siblings that are so close and they hang out all the time, and I know I live in Bali and he lives in Canada, but I'm like, we don't really talk too much. When we're in person, we talk, of course, and there's no feelings or like unpleasant emotions. It's just we're two very different people. And it was showing me that even though I didn't speak with my wife, or even though I don't speak with my brother, sorry, windy, another confirmation perhaps, it doesn't mean that we don't love each other and that we aren't fulfilling the soul's contract. And we, like, it's like you don't have to talk to someone all the time. You don't, it doesn't have to look a certain way, basically, is what I'm saying. The relationship doesn't have to look like how it looks in the movies. If you deeply love someone unconditionally and they love you back, like, the soul knows. So that was really powerful for me, because I feel like it just allowed me to accept the relationship that I have with my younger brother even more. And I really appreciated that, because I'm like, yeah, I love my brother unconditionally. I would do anything for him, even though I don't like live by him or talk to him as much as I might like to. So that was deeply healing for me in that way. Because as you can see, all these aspects of things that I came to learn in this life, like my soul actually took me to exactly where I needed to go to fit all these pieces together. And the final thing that I was shown in this life was my death. So I was dying. I knew that I was dying. I knew that I had like 2 or 3 more days to live, and I was getting ready to leave my body. I was very aware of that, and I'm very conscious of that in that life. And I had a sickness in the stomach. I don't know if it was like cancer or something like that, but it was just time. And the tribe was circling around me before my death. I was lying there, and the tribe was celebrating. We were happy and we were celebrating my death. We knew that I was dying, and we were like excited for me to cross over to the other side, which I found to be like very interesting and very comforting. There was no fear of death, and I was not afraid of death in that life at all. I'm not afraid of death in this life either, but I was really like not afraid, and it was beautiful to see that everyone is celebrating me crossing over. My wife was a little bit sad because she was going to miss me, and my son was there and he was holding my hand, and he was devastated that I was about to cross over. Devastated. He felt a lot of responsibility around being chief, and we just had this deep respect for each other. And we were holding hands when I crossed over, and I told him that I will find him again. And it was so beautiful. It was like, I will find you again, and I have the deepest respect and love for you, is basically kind of what my final words were to him. And then I let go, and then I was floating over my body, and I was just fully present to the greater lessons that I learned in that life. And I was so proud of myself. I was so proud of myself that I listened to my intuition, that I was able to lead such a beautiful, loving community and tribe, that I actually chose not to kill another human being, and that I was full of love, and I had this beautiful relationship with my son. And I was just feeling all of that love. And that's one of the most powerful things about past life regression, is when you cross over, when you leave your body and you go towards the light, like literally you go towards the light, you feel so consumed by love. And the light itself is very seductive. It pulls you in, and it's so intriguing and beautiful, and you just go towards the light, and you just come to this beautiful place of trust and understanding. And my heart just was just expanding, exploding. Like, I literally felt like my chest was wide open, and my heart chakra was just, wow, absorbing all of the love of the universe. And then I went into I was able to channel a little bit. I'm just gonna keep that to myself though. I was able to channel a little bit, but one thing that came to me, and it came to Vivian at the same time, which was kind of interesting, we both said it at the same time, was that love is on its way. Don't worry, like love is almost here. Like a loving partnership is almost here. And we both said it at the same time, so we both got a download together, which was very cool. But yeah, I had visions of the next 10 months and the state of the world, and it was quite interesting. I'm gonna keep it to myself though, like I said, because I haven't fully channeled like that before, so it was just, it's new for me. And yeah, anyways, that was my most recent past life regression experience, and I hope you guys gained something from it. I hope it was insightful, entertaining at the least, and perhaps offered you just some remembrance, some recognition, and just even reminded you to trust in yourself, trust in your intuition. And yeah, I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!